Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad that you stopped by. If you are new here for the first time, please say hello down in the chat. Let me know what state or country you're coming in from so I can say hello back. I appreciate you stopping by. And for those who come all the time, I appreciate you as well. Y'all, I'm outside and let me just say, the weather this week that's forecasted is much different than the weather we had last week. Last week, we are in Tennessee, and in our area, we had strong extreme heat advisory. The temperatures were like 96, 98 with a heat index of like 110. It was literally unbearable. But this week, it is very pleasant. It's in the 80s all week, like 80 to 85. Which is amazing. It feels so pleasant. Now, the thing that comes with it is that we have rain in the forecast every single day. Has rained all morning long. And now it stopped raining. And so I'm out. It's very pleasant. There is a breeze. There is no heat or humidity. So it is very, very nice. It's just really, really soppy wet. But I decided to take advantage of a few minutes that I had to come out and plant a tray of fall seeds. And I thought I'd turn on the camera and talk to you guys. So I actually just finished doing my fall garden workshop earlier today. If you missed that workshop, you missed a treat. We had great interaction and engagement on the workshop, but I am selling the replay. So if you want the replay to the workshop, as well as you get the guide, it's like over 50 pages about how to grow in the fall. We talked all about the different frost tolerances for certain plants. So the class walked away with knowing, okay, what temperatures are good for each crop? Like at what temperature do these crops need cover versus not? How do I extend my season? What type of covers do I use? All the things was in that class. And we had a great time. So if you want to catch the replay and buy the replay, I'll put the link in the description below. I'm not teaching the class again. That was it, once and done, because now it's time to jump into the fall. If I wait and teach it a month from now, it's going to be too late. So if you have not already started your fall seeds or have a plan for your fall garden, then grab the replay and let's get moving. But I've already started one tray of seeds. Again, y'all know I am the queen of, if I don't have but 20 or 30 minutes, let me go see what I can get done in the garden. If that's all I have, I don't wait until I have a day to spend in the garden to work. I don't wait until I have a day to spend and do all of my seeds, because the way my schedule is set up right now at this season of my life, I don't have days on end. I have moments and pockets of time. And so I had a pocket of time 2 days ago to do a tray of seeds, and that was all I had time to do, even though I had laid out my plan. So one day I actually laid out my plan of what all I was going to plant. I'll take you inside my sunroom and let you see, and we'll kind of go through some of the stuff I'm going to plant. But that was on one day, and then the other day I had time to do a tray of seeds, so I did that. And y'all, that was just 48 hours ago, and those seeds have already germinated. I'm going to show you a quick clip of a video right here. Super encouraging that stuff germinated literally within 48 hours. So in that first tray, I did the things that take a lot longer, or that sometimes are a little bit more difficult to germinate. I did Brussels sprouts, because Brussels sprouts, they take a long time to grow. And again, I have Brussels sprouts, and I can do that because I have a greenhouse or a high tunnel. And so it's fine that it takes 110 days because they're going to be under protected culture. But if you're in an area where you have not already started your Brussels sprouts, and you know that the weather is going to be too cold for them to withstand in the next 110 days, and you're already too late for Brussels sprouts, you're going to have to, unfortunately, buy those from the store. But for me, I'm still to the good because I have a high tunnel. If I did not have a high tunnel, I should have started my Brussels sprout seeds literally at the beginning or the midpoint of July, not in August. But I did my Brussels sprouts, I did broccoli, and I did cauliflower. So that's what that tray is that you just saw. And now on today, I'm doing another tray, and I'm doing mostly flowers, and I'm doing things that I have not done before in the fall that are new to me and or take a long time. So I'm not doing any vegetables. I'm doing mostly flowers. Again, I have the space that I can add in flowers in my gardens because I do have quite a bit of space. But if you are growing on your deck or a patio and you're prioritizing vegetables over flowers, that's a-okay. You don't need the flowers. The flowers are for just my own enjoyment and for my beauty, right? But I have a tray that's already done here. And that's another thing. I did my trays like earlier in the week. So I guess I can sit down. I did my trays earlier in the week. And so like on this video, I guess one of the things that I'm talking about, and I necessarily didn't intend to talk about, I really was just turning the camera so we can chat while I do my seeds and you guys can keep me company. But I think it's important to stop and talk about, and that is when it comes to planning and intentionality and using the pockets of time that you have to get things done. So like y'all literally, the tray that you saw me that I've already planted out, and then I have two trays here. These trays were down at my outside garden. And so I knew I was going to be starting fall seeds soon. And so I grabbed these trays, whatever I could carry in my hand at the time, along with the harvest, which is just these 3 trays. I put it in the back of my car to bring it up to my house. They stayed in my trunk for probably 2 or 3 days. And then I brought them out here to the back. Then the next day I had my husband get the soil for me. He brought it back here. So again, this was all happening over a period of time as I would think about it or as I have time. And so one day I actually had time. I was out here doing some harvesting. And so I actually filled up my trays with soil. I did not plant anything because I didn't have time. So what am I saying? Is maximize the time that you do have. And if you're waiting for this big block of time and you know your schedule is not set up like that, then you may find yourself never gardening to the level that you want to, or never getting your stuff in the ground because you're waiting for these big pockets of time. Many of you are extremely busy. Now, for me, I'm running 2 businesses, but I have the privilege that I work from home. So in between meetings, I can pop out here if I have time to come and start a tray of seeds. Right? And because I have easy access. If I was working a full-time job away from my house, I would get less done. And that's what some of you do. You work away from home, which is, I've done that before. Now, when I did it, I wasn't gardening. But for those of you that work away from home and you're not working remotely, then it can be difficult, because I can understand when you're getting home from work, you got to get dinner, you got kids, you got all the things. And so you may only have 30 minutes. And in those 30 minutes, you may be tired. And so you may be gardening on the weekends, right? But be thinking about, as much as possible, your schedule. So if you're only gardening on the weekends, but you know you need to start your fall seeds, maybe your trays are in your garage. So maybe when you're going to go pull meat out of the freezer, you can get your trays and, run them down with some water or clean them up. Maybe that's one day that takes 10 minutes. Or if you, like me, if you have some teenage children, get them to wash your trays for you, right? If they're on dish duty, get them to wash your trays or wipe them down and give them $5 and tell them to move on about their way, right? There's so many ways to get things done. But if I were to wait until today and I had to go down to my tunnel, get my trays, now my trays were already clean because I had done that after the spring or whatever. But if I had to go down there, get my trays, clean them up, pack them with soil, do my plan about what I'm going to do in the fall, and plant my first tray of seeds, we're talking about, that's probably an hour, hour and a half. I may not have an hour and a half this week as one block of time, but I may have 30 minutes every day this week as a block of time. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I hope that liberates somebody. I hope that helps somebody, okay? But let's get into what we're doing today. Today we are doing... okay, so we are doing mostly flowers because I want to. I'm doing some calendula again for the fall. This is called Pink Surprise. I am doing some alyssum because alyssum grows in my zone. I'm in zone 7B. It grows well, I think, in zone 7 and above. So 7, 8, 9, 10. You can do alyssum. It is okay. Did I have that right? Yeah, I think it's zone 7 through. Let me just make sure. Oh, it is a perennial in zones 5 and warmer. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And so I have 2 kinds of alyssum. I have this pastel color, and then I have this white one that's called carpet of snow. And I'm thinking about putting these in my raised beds, like in the corners, just for a pop of color. And then also I'm toying around with planting out some green stalks this fall and winter. Y'all know I don't normally do that because I have all I need in the greenhouse, but I am strongly considering doing that. And I thought about maybe putting, if these flowers go well, maybe putting a green stalk full of flowers because I can see it outside of my sunroom, and that'll make me happy in the wintertime. Y'all, in the wintertime, the garden is mostly green because the stuff that you're growing, all the leafy greens are green, and the things that have color are underground, like your carrots, your beets, the things that have color are underground. And so I like to see color in my greenhouse in my garden all year round. And so the way that I do that in the wintertime is by planting flowers and or different varieties of things that have color. Is that necessary? No. Is it what I want to do? Yes. So that's what I do. Okay. So I'm doing that. Then I'm also trying new for the first time, some violas. I'm going to try growing these from seed. I don't know how that's going to work, but I think if I can get it to work, that'll be pretty. I'm doing some snapdragons. I've done snapdragons before. I always do them in the fall, and I let them overwinter, meaning I'll start them from seed. They will grow, and get the greens on them, and then they will go dormant when it gets really, really cold, but they can withstand the cold in the high tunnel. They can withstand the cold in my area. They are a winter flower, but then they bloom in the spring. And I thought these colors were pretty. So I'm going to do some of those. And then I'm going to try onions for the first time from seed. Now, I have tried onions from seed. The first year I gardened, I got nothing. Now, somebody told me that they take a long time to germinate, so maybe I didn't wait long enough. And I just want to try it. I want to see if I can. Then if so, plant me some slips and overwinter them and see if I can get anything for the fall. That's what I want to do. This is purely an experiment. That's all it is. So let's get to it. So I'm going to focus on one tray. I already got my little labels done. So let me put out where I want what and what we are doing. So, yeah. Let's see. How many do I want to do of each? Viola, let's see. What else am I missing? My alyssum. Yep. And alyssum. Okay. So I got my little tags done. For calendula, we're going to do, let's just say 12. From what I remember before, my calendula germinated pretty well. And again, if I have excess, I may really do me some green stalks this year. I may really do it, y'all. I don't normally do it because I don't really need the food per se, because I got enough food that grows in my high tunnel. But I like the idea of having some flowers in there. And I like the idea of having me some greens out here. It's like some herbs and lettuces and stuff that I can just grab when I'm cooking in the kitchen instead of going down to my tunnel. So that's why I'm considering doing it. Now, am I going to plant out all 4? I don't think so. I'm only committing. I'm not even committing. I'm only thinking about doing 1. And I'm not even committed to that. But in case I do, let me do some stuff that can go in there if nothing else. Okay? That is what we're going to do. So you be like, Barbara, where the food at? What, you not doing no food? Yeah, I'm doing food. I am. I just showed you the food I was doing in there. That's the start. But I got a whole plan in my sunroom of the stuff that I'm doing. But I'm being strategic about when I'm planting it, because the stuff that I haven't done before that's going to take a long time, I'm doing that now because I got time, right? And things like bok choy has always, it germinates very, very quickly, and it grows very, very quickly in 40 or 45 days. So I can wait a week or 2 if I wanted to for the bok choy, because I'm not concerned about that. But these violas, I mean, they may take a long time. I don't know. So that's why I'm doing the stuff now. But because I know what I'm planting, I can be strategic about when I want to start the seeds for different things. Hopefully that makes sense. So I'm getting my calendula in here. And I've never grown calendula. Well, this is my first time growing calendula this summer or this spring. It did well until it didn't. But as soon as the heat came, it didn't do well anymore. But that was my first time having success. So if it likes cooler weather, I figured I would try it now and see if it would go, if I can get some in the second summer or / fall before it gets too cold. And we'll see. Can't hurt, right? Okay, so we did our calendula. So we're going to put that to the side. I'll put that in my little thing. Then next we have snapdragons. Snapdragons are very tiny seeds. And so you surface sow those. What does that mean to surface sow? You're just going to press them lightly into the surface and they generate based from light. So the seeds are extremely tiny. Let me show you if you can. I don't even know if you can focus in and see this. Them little dots up there, those are the seeds. They're very, very, very tiny. Let's see. So it does require light to germinate. I mean, that's probably 100 seeds right there. So I'm just gonna put them on top, and I'm not gonna cover them with soil because, again, they need light to germinate. And because they're so tiny, it's hard to try to separate them and just plant one seed. So I don't even try. I just do a pinch or two. And look at that, y'all. Just about all the seeds gone. Oh, there we go. Okay, so do a pinch. And then hopefully we'll have germination. So we're doing 12 of those. And that will be plenty. Okay, so that's done. Now we're going to do viola. I've never done violas before. Let me know if you've done violas. And then also, I want to know what y'all planting. Let me know what you planting for the fall and what you're most excited about. All the things. And man, it don't look like there's hardly any seeds in here. And these seeds are small too. Okay. It says 85 days, and these are dwarf violas. So usually flowers that are this small, they germinate by light. I'm looking at the back to see what it says. It says a perennial in zones 4 through 9, best in cool conditions, blah blah blah. Yep, seed depth is surface sow. So okay, I have 12 spots allotted. Let's see if we have enough seed to get us to 12 slots, because all I got was one pack. See, y'all, this is a classic example. If you didn't see my Baker Creek seed haul, I should have got 2 packs of this, because this one pack is barely enough seed to cover 12 things because the seeds are so small. There was many of you, because y'all spent like $200. There was many of you who said, oh, I would have spent more than that. I'm opening up the pack so I can get all these seeds. It ain't but a few left. I should have got, but because I had never done it before and it was new, I was just trying it out. I only got 1 pack, but now I wish I would have got another. Because what if this turns out well? What if I really like it? Now I'm stuck. Okay, I had just enough, but this last one only has like 2 things in it, versus the other ones have a little bit more. So hopefully it'll germinate. We'll see. So that packet is done, just like that. Okay, so that's done. And so I just press it just a little bit, just so it's making contact with the soil, but I'm not going to cover it with dirt. So if you've never done things that say surface sow, that's what that means. And usually you have a lot of flowers that are surface sow. Yep. Okay, so the next we have Alyssum, the pastel. We're going to do 12 of those. And then we're going to do 12 of the white. That's going to be a lot though, y'all. I've only grown Alyssum once, and I can't remember how well it germinated. That's going to be a lot. But you know what? If we do the green stalk, it'll be fine. We'll just have a pretty green stalk. Yeah, let's just go ahead and go with 12 of each one. That'll be 24. Because, yeah, we can do something with them. These seeds are small too. Let me see if it says surface sow. Yep, and it says fall sowing for winter bloom is recommended for these. Blah, 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 blah. Light age germination. Yep. Surface sow. Perfect. These are small too. Can you see that? Those are small. Okay, so y'all tell me what you planting for the fall. Then let me know if you ready for the fall. If summer was good to you, or if you like, look, I'm about to kick summer in the throat. Let me know. Are you about to kick summer in the throat? Are you tired of summer? Y'all. Summer, I'm about to kick it in the throat, okay? Between the pest and the rabbit and the rain, the summer has not done its best work, okay? It's done some good work, but it ain't done its best work. And yes, I know that's incorrect English. It has not done its best work instead of it ain't done, or whatever I said. Okay, so now we're doing the white. We doing the white. Let me know if you done with summer, or you like, it can stay a little bit longer. Or if you like me and you ready for the fall. Okay, white done. Lastly, onions. Do y'all see how fast it's going? Very fast. Very fast. And I'd be done if I wasn't running my mouth talking to y'all. But in talking to y'all, we just had like, I don't know, 20 minutes or so. Now, let's see what these onions say. Okay. And the kind I'm doing is a yellow sweet Spanish onion. Has anybody ever done onions this time of the year in the fall? And if so, let me know if you harvested them before the spring, or if you let them go until like May or so, until the spring was over, like regular onions. Does that make sense? Let me know. This is a purely an experiment. That's all it is. I just want to see if I can grow slips, and I'm doing it now because it don't matter if they don't work, because I can just buy my slips from Dixondale, and I probably would do that anyway, but I want to know if I can. So it's a good time to try. It's a good time to try, and this is how I do risk in my garden. I do risk when it's low risk. Like, I'm not betting the whole farm on something. Like, I would not say, oh, I'm not going to buy any onion slips. I'm going to do these. And then they don't work, and then I don't have onions. We're not doing that. But I'm doing it now to experiment to see if I can. And then I think you can overwinter them so they'll just be ready in the spring, so to speak. Or I think I heard somewhere that if I did them now, I may be able to get like some small onion bulbs, like, I don't know, November, December. That don't sound right, but we're going to find out. We're going to find out. All right, y'all. Just like that, we done. We done. We in there. I don't know if you can see, but like the stuff in the middle is all surface sow. So all I got to do is I'm going to mist this so that it doesn't disturb the seeds. And this soil was already wet because it rained this morning. But it's not soaking wet because the sun has come out and it's drying. But that is done. We used up a packet of seeds. So that's done. And then we have the ones that we did that can go back in the house. Just like that, it is done. So I will take this in the house, mist it with some water, and it'll go on the tray. They'll stay inside, and I'll keep you posted on how things are going. So let's do that. But now let's go in the sunroom. Let me show you my little setup and what all I have planned that I haven't done. Okay, y'all. So now I'm in my sunroom, and so what I will do now, these are the ones that I just planted. So this is just my rhyme or reason. I will put these like up near the top of my stack to kind of note that I've already done those. So up here at the top, I have my Brussels sprouts. and my broccoli, and I used all my cauliflower. So I know that I've done those already. So I'm kind of pulling from the ones that are below that. So I'm just gonna put these back in their respective stacks. And then you can kind of see, so that's that row up there. And then, so what I haven't done, oh, I see an onion out of place. Let me put the onions with the onions, and then the flowers with the flowers. I gotta have some level of organization. Okay, so what I have down below that I haven't done are my radishes, my beets, and my carrots. So all of those will be direct sown. So I won't start those in trays ahead of time. I will just direct sow those. So I kind of got that section right there. Then I have my collards, my bok choy, my kale, my cabbage, my lettuce, and my cilantro. So for me, I know what I'll do next will be my cabbage and my collards, because those have a longer maturity and they take a little bit longer to grow. The lettuce doesn't take as long to grow, so I'll probably do that in maybe a week or two, because I would rather put that out like mid-September instead of the first part of September. So the things that I'm doing now, I'm waiting until, I'll wait about 4 weeks before I put it out, like let it get to a good size, and then I'll put it out. So that's gonna be for me like the first week of September. That's what I did last year. It seemed to have worked well. So the lettuce I'll probably start in a couple of weeks. And also we're gonna be out of town in the next week. And so when you have seedlings and they need to be watered, I don't wanna do too much that somebody has to come and water versus I can wait. So I will do my cabbage and my collards next for sure. And then from there, I will probably do kale, and then I will do bok choy and lettuce, and then my cilantro. Again, cilantro doesn't take as long to grow, so I can wait to do that. And I know I usually have pretty good luck with cilantro, so there's no issues there. But yeah, so I have them like all in stacks. So in my collard stack, I have the kinds of collards that I'm going to be doing. So I'm doing Georgia Southern, and then in my cabbage, I have the kinds that I'm going to be doing, and so forth and so on. So that is what we have going on. So basically the next time I have a block of time, I can come out here. I know which order I'm doing next, which is the cabbage and the collards. That way I'm just not willy-nilly. I'm like, oh, let me do the lettuce, but then I haven't done my cabbage, because lettuce is quicker than cabbage. So I want to go ahead and get that established. Also, if I don't have good germination, then I can do cabbage again, versus if I wait, then I'm just that much further behind the 8 ball. Now, again, for me, because I have a high tunnel, the timing is less important for me. But in terms of me telling you guys, especially if you don't have a high tunnel, this is how I will be thinking about my fall garden. If you don't have time to do all of your seeds at one time, then be strategic about the ones that you start. So either what takes the longest, what have you had issues with germination before? What things do you want to make sure that you put out and that you have enough of? Then I would start with those things first. And then things that are easier for you, that, like, let's say maybe a lettuce or something like that, then you can start that a little bit later. And also, if you're limited on space in your house of what you can start indoors or how many trays, then be strategic about the things you start indoors versus buying transplants, okay? I hope that helps somebody. I hope that there is a method to the madness, or there should be a method to the madness. Because when you're a gardener, especially when you're gardening as a hobby, it's not your full-time job. And for most of us, it is not our full-time job. You have to, in order to be the most productive and have the most abundance, you have to be organized and intentional and be thinking ahead. So that way, when you have a block of time, let's say 30 minutes, you can just come out here. I can grab this stack and this stack. My tray is already filled up with soil, and I can just drop seeds, 15 minutes, do my labels, I'm in and out, and I feel accomplished because I got my seeds started. So let me know if that helps you. Let me know if that gives you a different way to think about it. But y'all, we rocking and rolling. We are rocking and rolling. Fall seeds have officially started, and I am excited, okay? Listen, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe to this channel. Be a part of this community so you can know what's going on, what to do, when to do, how to do. Be a part of the community. It is a great community. We got lots of fun stuff happening and being planned. Also, let me give one other thing I want to make sure, because I don't talk about this enough, is my VIP YouTube membership. For those that are in my YouTube membership, shout out to you. We have a great group of people. Let me tell you what you get as a YouTube member. You get priority reply to comments. You get a monthly live Q&A with me where you can ask me whatever you want. You have me undivided attention for an hour every single month to get all your questions answered. You also get 10% off anything that we sell in the shop. You also get your own, we have our own community chat on the YouTube page. So you get a whole bunch of perks, and it's just $4.99 a month. You can cancel at any time. So definitely, if you want a little bit more access, then definitely join my YouTube membership. Subscribe to the channel. That anybody can do that. And y'all remember, this is all a journey. Let's grow together. I'll see you next time, friend.